Hey, it's Kristen. Welcome to Brewed and Boost Food. I'm not much of a baker, but this recipe from King Arthur Flour for their Caribbean-style rum cake was super easy to follow and turned out delicious. Its secret ingredient is vanilla pudding mix. Who knew? Follow along and I'll show you what I did. To make the cake, we're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, a 3.5 ounce package of vanilla pudding. Make sure that you use the regular pudding. Do not use the sugar-free in this. It will give your cake a funky taste. Also, you want to make sure that you've got the full fat, full ingredients of your pudding. You can also use a flavored pudding if you'd like. Butterscotch might be nice in this, or caramel would be great. I'm just using plain vanilla. Add that. To this, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 8 tablespoons of room temperature butter, and a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Shut this. Then I have this little guard I'm gonna put on because flour likes to poof up on me. So I'm gonna add the little guard to it. I'm gonna set my mixer first onto stir. You want your mixture kind of almost a sandy kind of texture. That looks pretty good. Kind of like almost a thick wet sand. Now to this, while your mixer is on, we're going to put it on low. Going to slowly add in a 1/2 cup of milk. Make sure your milk is at room temperature as well. Then we're going to add 4 eggs. I'm going to do them one at a time. Make sure they get incorporated before you add the next one. There's the last egg. Turn this off for a second and I'm going to scrape down the bowl. Stir it again. Now we're going to add a 1/2 cup of rum. I'm using Old New Orleans amber rum. You could use a clear, like a crystal rum, or you could also use a spiced rum as well. I'm just using the amber. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup. Then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm actually using a vanilla bean paste. I like the flavor a little bit better. It's a richer vanilla for me, and you also get those nice little specks, the vanilla specks. So we're gonna add this in. And then to give it a nice extra rum flavor, I have a 1/4 of a teaspoon of butter rum flavoring. I'm gonna add that in. Make sure my batter looks good. Smells delicious. I feel like I'm on an island vacation, which I'm sure we all need right now. Okay. Now we're going to put it in the pan. I went ahead and sprayed my bunned pan with some cooking spray. Then to give the cake a little bit of a crunchy bit to it, I took a 1/4 cup of almond flour, sprinkled it inside, and tapped it around so it made a nice even coat on the pan. Now we're gonna add our batter. Make sure to scrape your bowl, make sure you get all that goodness in the pan. Okay. And I'm just going to take my spatula and kind of even out the batter a little bit. Make sure that it's as even as possible, that there aren't any major air bubbles or anything inside of it. Give it a little shaky shake. Okay, it's ready for the oven. I'm going to put this in a preheated 325-degree oven for about 50 minutes. I'm going to check it at 50 minutes and make sure that it's done. It may need a few more, and it could be anywhere between 50 to 60 minutes. Now to make the rum syrup to go on the cake. What you're going to do is take a medium saucepan. We're going to add a 1/2 cup of rum. Again, I'm using Old New Orleans amber rum. A 1/4 cup of water. A cup of sugar. And 8 tablespoons of butter. I just went ahead and cut them into smaller chunks so they'll melt more quickly. Now we're going to put our flame to about medium. We want to bring this mixture to a boil. Once it starts boiling, do not stir it. You want the mixture to thicken, so let it do its thing. But for now, we're going to stir it to get all the sugar and the butter melted. But again, once it comes to a boil, just let it boil. And we're going to reduce it to a simmer and let it simmer for about 6 minutes until the mixture gets nice and thick. All of the butter has melted, and as you can see, the mixture is starting to boil. I'm going to turn this down to about a medium heat so it's just at a simmer. I'm going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes. You want the mixture to thicken up a bit. This way it will soak into the cake and make your cake extremely moist and delicious. So our syrup has cooked for about 5 minutes. It's gotten a little bit more thick. I'm going to turn the heat off. And to this, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, I'm using the vanilla paste. You can also use vanilla extract as well. 1/2 teaspoon goes in. Give it a stir. I'm going to transfer this into my measuring cup so it'll be easier to pour over the cake. While I was making the syrup, I had taken the cake out of the oven. It cooked about 55 minutes. You want to make sure that a toothpick or a long skewer comes out clean. Now what we're going to do is take a chopstick or skewer, and you're going to go and poke holes in your cake. Then you're going to take your syrup mixture And you're gonna do about 1/4 of a cup at a time, because you want to let the cake soak in all of that rum mixture. And if you pour it in all at once, it will not soak up how you want to. So pour a little bit, let it soak in, give it a few seconds, then we'll do it again. Do this until all of the rum mixture is used. Then what you want to do is loosely put a piece of plastic wrap over your cake, and you want to let this sit overnight. So anywhere between 8 to 10 hours will be the perfect amount of time to have the rum completely soak into the cake, and it'll be super moist and super delicious. Wasn't that recipe super easy to follow? And oh my gosh, that turned out so good. I'm not gonna lie, I did have a slice of cake with my coffee this morning. For this recipe and more from King Arthur, head to their website, kingarthurbaking.com. To find out what the Brewed and Boost Food ladies are up to, head to our website, brewedandboostfood.com. Don't forget to like and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We'll cook with you soon.